morning. Oh, good morning, handsome. Alright, it is just coming up for 5 a.m. I've been up since 4. This is a pretty normal time for me to get up during the week, which doesn't mean I have to like it. I'm gonna get a cup of tea, try and wake up a little bit, and then do some writing. But I do tend to write in bed, so that's something at least. Attempt to keep the dogs settled and quiet. Come back. It's now 6:04. I managed to get about 280 odd words done. Right now it says on Trackbear to reach my goal of finishing the first draft before Christmas this year. I would need to do just something like 200 and odd words, 210 or something a day. So once I get beyond that threshold, anything else is bonus, it's just extra. You know, in case there's a day where I'm so busy I can't write, I've built up a little bit of extra leeway there to stop me from getting behind. And it means that once that's done, I can then focus on other aspects like reading craft books, doing courses. What else am I doing? Working on my website. I've been trying really hard to get some articles and blogs and stuff up on my website to start getting traffic and hopefully start getting newsletter signups. I know it's early days and I'm still working on draft 1, but marketing just takes time. So the sooner you start, the better, really. One exciting thing is I did actually get one of my little articles up to number 6 and number 8 for a couple of different key phrases on Bing. It's not Google, but I'll take it. And it was best eco horror novel, best eco horror books, and then the other search term was eco horror novels. So I'm on the first page, just slightly further down. Probably won't get a lot of traffic from it, but it's nice to know that there's some traction being made, and I just need to keep going with it. I do a lot of SEO type stuff at work in quite a difficult niche, so I'm hoping I can figure this one out too. Let me know down below if you'd like to hear more about SEO and trying to get a website off the ground for your writing. I'll only go into it if you guys actually want me to. My office assistant will not stop whining at me. He's upset because normally I open the blinds and he can rest his head on the windowsill and look out, but there's a mama deer out there with her baby, so he doesn't get to look at them and start barking, do you? Because you'll scare them. You will. So you just have to not have a view for a little while. Did you get yo? Oh my goodness. So here we are. Good morning. It is now just after 7. I've really not got as much done as I would have liked. That's just the way that it goes. I don't know if you can hear him. Dobermans have this thing, it's called like a tea kettle whistle. I don't know if you can hear him with the mic on or not, but it's driving me insane. Yeah, not quite got as much done as I would have liked, which is unfortunate, but just the way that it seems to go for me. I can't concentrate with him crying. I kicked him out of my office. I was expecting him to complain more about it, because he usually does, but I think he's given in. Anyway, let's talk about writing. I'm currently at around chapter 29, and that is about just shy of 52,000 words at the moment. There's definitely a lot of work to be done in draft 2. I currently have been sending chapters back and forth to a critique partner, Courtney. She's great. She is a developmental editor as well. So the feedback that I've been getting for her has been really constructive, stuff that I can definitely utilise for the next round of drafting that I do. But it is quite hard in another sense because you're constantly aware of all of the things that aren't quite right, that need fixed. So I've got all these different ideas floating around in my head for draft 2. And obviously I've got the Google Doc with all of Courtney's feedback, which is great for when it comes to draft 2. I can make sure that I'm, you know, hitting all the different marks that I need to. But there's her feedback then tends to spark like different ideas of my own as well, different thoughts, entirely different tangents of how things could play out to make them better. I just opened up like a new section in Scrivener and I've just been like dumping all my thoughts for draft 2 in there to try and just get them out of my head, because otherwise all I want to do is just fiddle around with it. I have done something exciting though. So I am going to be doing in July and August a 6-week writing course, and it's with StoryGrid, who you've probably seen on YouTube. I'll tag them somewhere down below or wherever it is, and I'm really excited about that. And again, it's one of those things that the more you involve yourself in your writing and different aspects and getting feedback and all those good things, you start to realise what you don't know. So this Friday I'll be going to open mic night, and it's not open mic night to me used to mean like, I don't know, like comedians and stuff going up and talking or singing or whatever. I didn't really associate it necessarily with storytelling. I don't know why. I just thought it was something that happened like in busy, bustling bars, you know, I don't know. However, there is one locally that one of my writer friends put me onto, and it's just in this little coffee shop type place. It's after hours, so it's only the little open mic people that are there, and you get to either read your poems or stories, short stories. It doesn't even have to be writing, like you can just be a storyteller, someone that doesn't necessarily write, but you just tell a great story, and everyone's really supportive and really lovely. The first time I went, I was too scared to read anything. The second time I went, I read my current like first chapter. It was still draft 1 really, but I'd implemented some of Courtney's feedback to it, and I felt like it was okay enough that I could read it at that event, and I got a really good reception. So I do need to go and read again this Friday. But back to the point I was trying to make to begin with, I realised that some of the scenes, although they're like necessary and they build to get us somewhere to do something, whatever, some of them don't really feel like they stand up all that well alone. Like if I was to go and read chapter 2 on Friday at this thing, would it make any sense to someone who hasn't heard chapter 1? Like, is there enough happening there to have any sort of forward momentum? Like, I don't know. It had me sort of, the thought of going up and reading a different chapter, it's had me thinking, should I read a different chapter, one that has more momentum or has more going on in it? And then I saw StoryGrid, Tim Grohl's scene writing workshop, and I was like, maybe I should do that. That could prove to be really useful, because it's definitely something where I was feeling like something was missing, you know, like I'm not really sure how else to describe it. You don't know what you don't know, right? So yeah, it starts on the 9th of July. So if you guys are interested in hearing how that goes, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll do a little video about that as I'm going through the course, my thoughts, if it's worth the money, all that kind of good stuff. The reviews were all really good for it. It's hard because a lot of places have like courses now. Everyone can create a course pretty easily online these days. But I really wasn't wanting just like written instructions to follow and calling that a course, because that's not really any different than a craft book. It's just in digital format in my mind. And I already have craft books at home. Whereas with this StoryGrid workshop, there is live calls. You'll get assigned like an actual tutor who reviews your admission and gives you feedback that you can actually learn from, so you can identify where maybe some of your weaknesses are with scene writing, what your strong points are. So it's just going to be like a really good experience, I hope. And yeah, more on that to come. Right, it is 8:59, so I have to start work in 1 minute, although I've already kind of started work. That's a different story. Got a little bit done on the new blog post that I want to get up on my website, and that post is about books that take place in Scotland. So the idea with the website specifically is to try and attract my ideal reader, and I want to put content on there that my ideal reader is consuming so that they can find me and find my book when it's ultimately ready to be published. Anyway, it is just, the bell has just chimed at 9 a.m. and I'm going to turn into a pumpkin if I don't get to work, so I'll see you in a little while. Just back from the gym. Got my absolute ass kicked. I'm exhausted. Work is done for the day. It's now 6 p.m. Yeah, I think that's probably it for today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys, good morning. It is now Tuesday. I did not get up at 4. I have not written a single word this morning. Oh, it was a rough night. You guys already know that our boy dog, Bubby, he had a broken foot and had some issues ongoing from that. He's not too bad right now. Touch wood. But our girl dog, you can see her in the background there. Hi, girly. Her breathing gets really elevated, like really fast, really shallow breathing. And it'll last for like an hour or two. And it was already scheduled for today. We have an appointment at like a proper vet hospital, which is going to be like a 4-hour round trip at least. This is what happens in my house. Welcome to life with Dobermans. Yeah, so sorry for being all red-faced and wet hair out of the shower, but just a quick update because I feel like today's going to be busy. I think it's going to be a struggle. I already tried to put the cereal in the fridge and it's just, I think it's going to be like that all day. Anyway, I will keep you updated. And it's just after 5 on Wednesday morning. I don't think I updated you last night, but basically it took us over 6 hours between the long ass drive to the vets and the time we spent there while she was getting scans and stuff done and the drive back. So that was 6 hours gone. They gave her some sedation while they were doing their tests. And I think it like wore off during the night because she just started crying and like she was unhappy. She was miserable and almost like just disorientated and stuff. I don't know. So I've had fuck all sleep again. I've not written anything today. I don't think my brain is functioning well enough to put together words on paper. So it's just really, really frustrating. There's so much I need to do. I'm behind on the work with my critique partner. I need to critique her new scene that she put up. She's already done mine. But again, I don't think I have the brain power to formulate any sort of responses to her. And I need to prepare a chapter to read at the open mic night on Friday. I want to take you guys along. And then I also need to prepare a chapter for Saturday when I go and meet my writer friends for them to review. So it's just, and you know, obviously I'm behind on writing because I didn't do any yesterday with the lack of sleep from. What do you have to say for yourself after keeping mum awake all night? Oh, what's that? Now you're quiet because you're tired? Okay. I'm glad one of us is getting some rest. Hey guys. Am I in my pajamas? Yes. Don't judge. I did get out of them. I went to the gym, I walked the dogs, and then I promptly put pajamas back on again. I have got absolutely no writing done today. I've just been watching Brielle and Harriet's live stream. I managed to get Courtney's scene. Sorry guys if this is noisy, if you can hear her. I managed to get her scene done in the last sprint, and then this sprint I'm using to film a little bit. So it is after 7, I think it's closer to 8 p.m. now. This one is so unhappy. I swear we got so many tests done on her yesterday. She had an ultrasound, she had x-rays, she had blood work, and everything came back fine. She's 12, so that's like really old for a Doberman. And they think that she might have dementia, canine dementia, which is really sad. We're not sure though, so going off to another specialist another day to get that fully assessed. Oh, you're suddenly shy when you get the mic, huh? So this is what we're having to deal with. She did this the entire night last night. It was awful. Dobermans are dramatic, y'all. It's sounding like I'm getting no sleep again tonight. This week was supposed to be so interesting to record for you guys. I thought I was going to get all this writing done, an open mic night to do some reading, and I've got my writers meet up, and I'm waiting on an email about something writing specific that should come in Monday at the latest. And instead you're getting raging Doberman whines and me with greasy hair and pyjamas on. But that's just life, and not everything goes the way that you expect it to. I just want to cry too. Can we both cry? She just doesn't stop. She did eat her dinner tonight without any complaint, so I'll take that. Wish me luck, guys. I will check in tomorrow. In other news, this happy little camper is feeling somewhat better. We might still sometimes forget that we have 4 feet, but most of the time we have 4 feet and we use them all, huh? Hey guys, it is now Saturday. I don't think I updated you at all yesterday. I'm so sorry. Things didn't go to plan yesterday. So I was a little bit late getting up to the open mic night, and it's a limited time that we have the building, the space for the open mic, and we have a sign up sheet at the door. So once I realised I was going to be a little bit late, I had one of my friends put my name down on the sign-up sheet, but by that point it was already pretty full. So I think we got through 12 of the 15 people who had signed up, and then we had to give up for the day because there was a family looking to come in, and they had booked it out for an event the next day, and this was like their time to get the space ready for that. So unfortunately I didn't get to read at the event, which I was really hoping I would. I had my camera all there, my husband was ready to play cameraman, and I didn't get to read, but my 2 friends did. So one of them read a couple of short stories, and the other one has already published a fantasy book, and she read an excerpt from that. So, and it was her first time there, so I was really glad that she got the chance to read after coming all that way. So yeah, that's an update on yesterday. I did not get anything written. I was in a total flap and panic, and I had to time myself. You get 8 minutes to talk at the open mic, and the chapter I was reading was like 11 minutes long, so I had to keep cutting things until I got it down to about 7 minutes, which would give me enough time to introduce myself and stuff at the start. So in a way, I'm kind of glad that I didn't get called up, because I'd probably cut so much by that point that, you know, really wouldn't have had quite the same impact. Something to look out for in future. But today, as I said, is Saturday, and this is the day, usually every couple of weeks, I meet up with those 2 writer friends and we exchange feedback on like a chapter or a scene. So I'm a little bit early. I'm actually in the library in a different little study room. We've never had our little sessions in the library before, but we're trying out new spots. Our usual places, one of them's quite far for 2 of us, and then the other one's quite far for the other one of us. So this is mildly more central, still not really, but it's a little bit less for Jill to travel. So we'll see how we get on here. It's a lovely room. We've got a nice big window, some light coming in, so nice environment. It's a shame there's not a little coffee shop here though. I'm going to miss my coffee. I've got like a Diet Dr. Pepper with me. Yeah, so just waiting on them. The email that I've been waiting on, patiently, not patiently, has still not arrived. So maybe I'm wrong here, but if something says that you'll receive a response within 8 to 12 weeks, are you expecting it to come in literally on the very last day of the 12 weeks? Because I was not. I really thought I would have heard something by now, but 12 weeks is up on Monday, so it's like 2 days from now. Where's my response? Anyway, that's my little grumble for today. I didn't write yesterday, so I'm definitely behind on words. I feel like the whole theme of this weekly vlog has been tired, not inspired. But that's just the way it goes. Hopefully next week will be better. That's all I can hope for. Hey guys, it is still Saturday, but it is now 3:29. Sorry, I'm trying to balance my laptop on my knees here. Yes, so it's still Saturday. I'm just back from my little writers group. It was a productive group session. One of our writers, Jill, has just finished her manuscript, so it was very exciting. It was a really nice ending to her story. It was really cool to hear that. It was something that, you know, we'd kind of gave her some advice on, and she took it, and I think it's going to work out really, really well, and it's leading into her next book in the series really nicely. And then one of our other writers, Tony, she has been having to rewrite her book because the dreaded thing happened that we all fear the most, is that she lost a big chunk of her manuscript when her computer blew up or whatever. It's no longer working. Sorry, dog crying as per usual in this house. So she's been rewriting some of her earlier chapters in book 2 of her series, and that was really good. Chapter that she read us, like the suspense and like the fear of what's happening, or, you know, what you envision happening, just kind of builds throughout the chapters. So it's really good. And then I had read chapter 6 to them of my book, and something that definitely comes up to add more description. Like, the actual plot was good. They were interested, excited in what was happening. There was some funny parts that they enjoyed, had a little giggle at, and then at the end of the chapter I had been able to build up enough suspense and forward momentum to push them into the next chapter, and they were like, oh my god, but what was that? So that was really nice, but I need to work more on building up a picture. I think from a lot of advice and stuff that you see online, it's like, oh, new writers tend to, you know, describe things too much and all of that stuff. And I think part of that's been like ingrained in my brain, and I'm scared to describe my characters in any sort of detail. So it's very like skimmed over and not really doing the characters justice. So I need to go back and really build that up. It just makes me want to jump right into draft 2 though. I just want to start fixing things, but I know I have to finish the draft. I have to finish draft 1. I have to finish telling the story before I start fiddling around with it. So on that note, I think it is time that I finish this vlog. this weekly vlog that has just been a bit of a disaster start to finish, with sick animals, missing days of writing, and not getting to participate in the open mic night like I thought. But you know what? That's real life. Stuff happens, and you just gotta keep on rolling with the punches. So here's to hopefully having a better week next week. Please stick around, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I should be starting my StoryGrid writing course at the start of July, so stay tuned for that and to see how that goes. But yeah, take care, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.